Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the L Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Yes, it is a Thursday evening. We are the Fanatical Elfz. This is the show you've all been waiting for. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening, Eastern Time, where it's 8:17 live, 7:17, where Sam's coming from down there in the great state of Texas. Sam, how you doing with the cowboy hat?
Good. It's been cool again. It's been weirdly cool, and I'm worried because that means it's either going to continue that way and it's going to be like -4 in the winter, or it's going to stop and it's going to be like 113. But because that's how this always goes. If it's hot, if it's super hot in the summer, then we'll have a really mild winter. But then if it's super cool in the summer, that means our winter is going to be really rough. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty consistent.
My friends in Kansas were all complaining it was 105 or 106 there earlier this week. So I think it's cooled off a little bit, but it is hot. I want to get into talking about some of the hot news going on down there in Dallas in just a minute and how it comes back to Amari Cooper and the Brownies. Steve, how you doing? Steve Gill, you're in an undisclosed location somewhere in the United States.
I'm in the mountains of Western North Carolina.
Okay.
It's been raining ever since we got here, which has cooled everything off. We left Nashville. It was about 105 degrees.
Yikes.
After 2 previous days of 100 degrees. So this is a nice change of pace.
Oh, I bet. Very nice.
Unfortunately, I wish I could package up this rain and send it back to Nashville because they got drought conditions there now.
We do. We do that. Your whole region up all the way up to where we live up here in Ohio. I know yesterday we had storms here around Columbus, and it depended on where you lived in Columbus. We had 2 big storms, one went to the north, one went to the south, and we stayed pretty much dry. So our grass continues to get browner. Now it says that maybe next week they're going to get a little bit of rain. The forecast is sort of changing, so we'll see. But I'm not happy about being back from Florida, even though it was hot and humid. I enjoyed the tropical air and the beach weather. But we were back. We had a show there last week. Had fun doing that. Boy, guys, we got a week to go here. We're starting training camp. Again, this is the Fanatical Elfz. We are part of Fans First Sports Network. We really appreciate you tuning in. You can find us on Apple, on Spotify, and YouTube. We're really trying to push the YouTube channel. No, we're not going to hit 10,000 subscribers tonight, but we are giving away a shirt after the break, and we're going to announce that winner. And if you are a YouTube subscriber, so if you're watching this and you have not subscribed yet, you can still have time to subscribe to us on YouTube. The site there for YouTube is right there. We've reposted and posted it. So sign up, subscribe, so we can gain viewerships there. I was telling everybody, before, like my son Alec, he's got about 120,000 subscribers on his I'm Jabster website on YouTube. So we're not there yet, but we need you to follow along. All right, training camp right around the corner. I know, Steve, you're writing a couple articles, blogs. Sam, I know you're getting geared up there. I'm sure you're getting some news. I want to hit first, okay, training camp's coming up in a week. Before we get into all of that, I just want to, Sam, you've been kind of our ear to the news down there in Dallas, and I've been reading a little bit today and earlier yesterday about Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, because I feel like some of this stuff, though it doesn't have exactly much to do with the Browns and Amari Cooper, I still feel there's a little bit, because Amari Cooper has sat out, has not signed this new contract, and we're waiting to find out when and if he's going to sign. We're feeling pretty confident here in Cleveland, or many of us fans are feeling pretty good about it. We think that he's going to do it. He's a veteran. Deshaun Watson came out yesterday talking about, he and Coop can just pick it up. They don't need a lot of time to get back to the flow of things, which I agree with, and I talked about that on my Johnny Cleveland show. Any more news today breaking about CeeDee Lamb? The news I'm reading, Sam, is basically saying that the Cowboys are trying to make decisions on Dak and CeeDee Lamb, and what to do is Dak on the trading block potentially. Would that change things up for CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb wants $30 million plus. What's the latest there?
Well, they also have Micah to deal with too.
Yeah.
They have, and then obviously their cap situation is quite bad with them doing just weird stuff with their cap. But CD's asking for 32 to 34 million ish. He wants second place money, most likely. He wants more than AJ Brown is getting currently. And the Cowboys are really just, I don't know what they're doing exactly, because wide receiver isn't going to go down anytime soon. It's not like holding CD out is going to help. But the Cowboys are just being weird for some reason. And this is kind of par for the course for the Cowboys. They just do this sometimes. But I think they're worried because someone's possibly going to have to go. It's either going to be Dak, CD, or Micah. I don't think they might be able to pay all three of them.
Yeah.
One person is going to probably end up having to leave, and I don't know who it's going to be, because Micah is a fan favorite and he's really good. CD is a fan favorite. He's young, really good. And then Dak is, I feel like Dak's the most likely candidate for leaving, but it's Jerry and everyone in company, and they love their quarterbacks. They can't move on unless they either collapse on the field and die, or they are 75 years old. And so it's just a weird situation seeing what exactly is going on, but it's not looking good for CD coming in day one of training camp or anything.
Okay, so Steve, let's go to you now. So with what Sam just said and what we know about Amari Cooper's situation, where are you at with your thought process? Do you feel like any of that that's going on in Dallas is going to have any bearing on what we're talking about?
Well, I'm looking more at the Mike Evans contract extension that Tampa did, because they're relatively the same age. They're both veterans. It was a 2-year, basically a 2-year deal for about 17-20 million. So that's what I think.
Yeah,
I keep hearing that Cooper wants more guarantees in the, and he's coming off. He's coming off 2 years where he had injuries. Hurt that heel in the regular season Texan game when he scored on that long touchdown, then still came in and played and set the team record. But they got the kicker done. We have a kicker.
Yes.
At first it was reported it was the richest contract, but no, he's the 5th highest paid kicker. You got to wait for the details, people. And then there is rumors that they're getting close with JOK. So that tells me they're talking to all three of them about contract extensions.
Yeah.
As for Dallas, their salary cap is they're like a little over 12 million under the cap. So, but the people will say, well, the Browns are almost 14 million under the cap. Yeah, but they've taken care of their long-term deals already. So, everybody is set except for Cooper and JOK. And that won't affect this year's cap, because the way they write them, they, first year is less, and then they backload everything. So I think they'll get it done. I do.
Okay.
I'm
going in the panic mode though. If they're down in Greenbrier,
of course you are.
I know. Okay. Well, I just want everybody to know, like, many Browns fans are going to be panicking. I'm really interested in this Dallas thing, because I feel like Sam's talking that it is going to have some connection to whatever happens with Amari. But like you're saying with Evans' deal, so that's not done either, right? We're waiting on that.
Oh, that's done. That's done. They did that already. He was a free agent, and they signed him to essentially a 2-year deal. And
how much
he gets like
20
million a year, maybe 22 million. So that's
what Amari's getting now, right?
Well, he's getting 20 million, but you pump it full of incentives, you front load, you rewrite the deal for this year, you give him a bunch of upfront money that Jimmy signs the check for, And what he wants is more guarantees in 2025. And how much guarantees can you give a 31-year-old wide receiver? That's all I'm
so
saying.
Brandon Ayuk, he's out there. He wants to be traded. Any
he wants $30 million.
Yeah. Any chance the Browns would be more receptive to that?
I'd give him a call.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
I mean, he's
what if
younger.
He goes to Pittsburgh.
He's not going to go to Pittsburgh.
Or Baltimore.
They're already knee deep in wide receivers.
I've heard a lot that he's going to the Commanders.
Commanders?
Because I think who's their quarterback? Who did they draft? Was it the Washington kid who's like 26?
Yes.
No, that's Atlanta.
Oh, Sam
Penix.
Sam Penix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever is the quarterback for Washington, he and Ayuk played like a sophomore year in college together, so they're like besties.
Where's Ayuk? Where did he go?
I don't know, but I heard
their starting quarterback is the kid that they drafted last year out of North Carolina.
Is that where Ayuk played college football? No,
I don't know. I don't
think so. All right. Well, all right. Let's talk about Nick Chubb. Chubb. Batman has returned. Holy moly! Was that just like? Did that not give you chills as a Browns fan? I mean, we love Nick Chubb, and like he's superhuman. Watching him lift that 550 or 80 whatever pounds it was twice.
540.
Shit. I'm sorry. Was like, dude, that was tremendous. Now Mary Kay Cabot is reporting from Cleveland Plain Dealer that he'll probably be put on the PUP list to begin training camp. But gosh darn, I tell you,
sounds about right.
Week one, I know we want to play cautious. Steve, you're probably going to tell me, no, we don't need to do anything with him week 1 through 4 or 5. But I'm telling you, that would just be spectacular. What do you think?
Well, he wasn't going to play in preseason, even if he was healthy. He didn't last year.
Right. No, I hear that. Totally.
So, but, I don't know why Browns fans love their workout porn. I just don't get it. Yeah, it's impressive. He's basically lifting a Chevy. But, yeah, so I don't know. I agree with Mary Kay. I think he goes on the PUP list, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Don't rush him.
Don't. I know. I know you don't want to rush
him.
You
need him late in the year.
I know. Well, I'm telling you, he's gonna. Whenever he gets out there, he is going to be tremendous. I can't wait. I think he's gonna. Honestly, he's gonna roll by both those guys on the rankings of the best running backs in the league, or with the Brownies. He'll pass Mike Pruitt. He's going to pass Leroy Kelly. I think he's 700 and some yards from doing that.
Yep.
So I think he's going to do it this year. I really do. And we'll go from there. But Sam, what did you think? Did you see that video of?
Yeah.
I
think Mary Kay isn't wrong. I think he probably will be looking at the PUP list at the start of training camp, but I think they're going to wait a little while. I think they're going to play week 1 and week 2 of training camp and keep him off for a minute.
Okay.
And just check out what he's looking like. Because if he's running drills and he's running well and he's doing high intensity, whatever that means, workouts and stuff, and is looking like he's healthy, I think they might push it back a little longer. But if he goes in there and he's restricted or even just straight up not practicing for multiple days in a row, I think that'll mean he's probably going on the PUP list pretty early.
Okay. All right, I'm trying to do a couple different things here. Okay. We talked about JOK. I'm sorry. You think that's going to be a done deal too, right, Steve? You're not worried too much about
if it's not before the season starts, it'll be during the season. They did Delpit last year during the season. That caught everybody by surprise. Nobody, we weren't expecting it. So I think that's going to be about the same thing.
Okay. I have a question for you guys pertaining earlier this week. And I know, Steve, you talked about it in your podcast. Lou's talked about it quite a bit. It happened last week or this weekend when they came out with a top 5 list of best fan
bases. It was last week.
Yes, and Chris Canty,
Unsportsmanlike radio.
Yes, and Melinda or Melissa or somebody came out with a list that did not have the Browns in it, and Evan Cohen, who's the co-host of that, did a nice 3-minute spiel about Browns fans and why they are the best or should be in that top 5 list. No way in God's green earth should the Jets have been on that list. Now, I can agree with Pittsburgh, but the Jets, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what are we doing? And then Chris Canty having to come down, say something at first, and then double down on it and say the whole thing about fans could have voted for the politicians. I talked about it on my Johnny Cleveland show this morning and yesterday, and Steven, and Lou wrote a good article. We've all written about it.
Yeah.
Fans who are older know. I mean, that was so far from the truth.
We lived it.
Yeah, it totally. And like your description of watching it in like him, Modell being interviewed or in a parking lot
live on ESPN.
Yes.
In a parking lot in Baltimore with the mayor of Baltimore and the governor of Maryland, Glenn Denning. I remember his name.
Yeah.
And I had heard rumors, and most of the beat writers that were reputable back then had heard rumors prior to the season even starting that he was contemplating moving. He had already got it in his mind that he wasn't going to get a new stadium.
Yeah.
But, the city offered back then, the baseball stadium was going to be multi-use.
The gateway what was it called? The gateway.
And the whole
project?
gateway project with the basketball arena. They already had the sin taxes to build that, and the people voted to raise those sin taxes. It was close.
Yes.
It was something like 52 to 48. But, he wasn't a very good businessman. Art Modell sucked at business. So look, he had to borrow money to sign
Andre Rison. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sam, have you heard that story?
Not that story, but I have heard plenty about Art Modell and stuff.
You know who Andre Rison was? A wide receiver who had his moments.
Atlanta.
Yeah, but he was Modell was desperate. He was trying to sign Reggie White, and that was going to be a no-go. And so he desperately then borrowed money to then sign Andre Rison. Andre Rison famously was dating one of the former lead singers from Lefty Lopez or whatever from what was that name of the group?
Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah, what's the name of the group? They were very popular.
I can't remember.
There were 3 ladies. Anyway, the girlfriend burnt down Andre Rison's house, and it was like live on TV, and it was just like soapbox, like crazy stuff. You can't even. I mean, imagine now. I mean, there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world today, but this is back in, when was that? That was like 90.
It was early 90s. The team left in 95. He signed them, I want to say 93.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah. Okay.
93. Something
anyway.
Like that.
We all know that Browns fans are the best, and Chris Canty just was saying some crap that was just boneheaded and moronic. So we'll move on. I did want to touch base, and I know, Steve, you're going to say, well, he doesn't play for the Cleveland Browns anymore, but Baker Mayfield was on.
He doesn't play for the Cleveland Browns anymore.
I know, but Baker Mayfield came on, and I gave Baker his due respect the other day. I don't know what podcast it was down there. But he said that he was a jerk and he was immature. He used that kind of language, or he was an ass, and used that language and I'll put it this way. And what I thought caught my attention the most was that he talked about the image of the blue collar Browns fan, and he felt this connection to that, and part of his bringing up and being brought in as a Cleveland Brown in 2018, that was a big part of his push mentally, internally for himself. And I thought that was really interesting because I do feel like he did genuinely try to make a connection. And I feel like anybody that's met Baker Mayfield has genuinely come away saying that he's a good dude. And I know there was a lot of things that went on. And I'm sure he didn't make fans for some, but I just thought it was interesting. And the kid's come a long way. I think he's had a child, or they're expecting a child. And I think he's, maturing before our eyes. And I just thought it was interesting that he said what he did about the 21 season when he hurt his shoulder. So anybody want to speak on that? Or Steve, he's not a Cleveland Brown. You really don't care.
I miss his progressive commercials. They were funny.
Right? Weren't they good? I mean,
those were really good commercials.
They were.
They were.
Maybe in like
I love the
20 years,
Alice Cooper.
the Browns can sign him for like $10,000 a year, and Progressive will pay him again. He can do more commercials.
Hey, did you see by chance the State Farm commercials? You know how Aaron Rodgers used to be in all those commercials? Did you see that Jimmy Fallon now is been in a couple now?
Yeah.
That they replaced Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers? Thank God. Aaron Rodgers, you talk about a cocky son of a gun. Man. And then ESPN has the gall to say that Jets fans are in the top 5. Give me a freaking break. Jets fans are pathetic. Don't even start on that. All right. Let's pause for a quick break here on the Fanatical Elfz Network. We'll be right back. We're back here on the Fanatical Elfz Network. Thanks for joining us. Please make sure that you subscribe to us on Apple or on Spotify. We love to make sure that you're listening to us. All you got to do is hit subscribe. It's free, folks. It is free. Speaking of free, we're going to give a free giveaway momentarily. I got to come up with our name here. I've got it over here on my phone. So I want to throw out a couple different lists that I know Lou was talking about, how lists are so arbitrary in July. But let me throw a couple of these out. So one of them, various lists that come out. Denzel Ward amongst coaches and analytics and
executives
and such came out, and he was ranked number 2, which I think is really awesome. Congratulations. I talked about that for Denzel. I want you to speak about Denzel a little bit. And part of that rankings, Jeremy Fowler, ESPN guy used to be, talked about, I think, these lists that they came out broadly and said that the teams that had the most top 10 players amongst them in each one of these categories, like running back, quarterback, cornerbacks, tight ends, that the Browns were in that top tier of the list. They had 6. And we were talking off air who we thought they were. The number 1 team was the 49ers with 9 players.
Okay.
Now we were guessing who the 6 were. Steve, you want to throw out who you think those 6 might be?
Well, Ward, Garrett, probably Batonio. I don't know if they're going to list Chubb.
Yeah.
Or not. Njoku. Not Chubb. Probably Njoku. Probably I would Cooper on that list. And maybe another defensive player, possibly JOK. Yeah,
Okay.
probably JOK.
That's what I think it's really good. It's cool that they've been able to come out with that.
Do we know what the list is?
I don't know where to find it. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm looking at something else here. I'm on the internet right now trying to find something, and okay. Let me go to another list. Sam,
Okay.
Let's go to this FanDuel list. There was a list that came out by FanDuel gambling group, and they're saying in this power list of best teams, they have the Browns in the NFL ranked at number 22. 22. Which is just nuts. I'll just give you the top 10. Kansas City, Baltimore at number 2, San Francisco, the Detroit Lions, Cincinnati Bengals are number 5. The New York Jets are number 6. The Dallas Cowboys are number 7. The Philadelphia Eagles are number 8. The Green Bay Packers are number 9. The number 10 is the Buffalo Bills. 11 are the Houston Texans. 12 are the Los Angeles Rams. 13 is the Seattle Seahawks. 14 Miami. 15 the Chicago Bears.
I don't get
And
that.
16 is Pittsburgh. Okay, I'll just stop there. The Browns aren't even listed until number 22. And above them at 21 are the New York Jets, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Atlanta Falcons. Are you freaking kidding me? Sam, how do you feel about that list?
What's the gambling thing? Is it like Super Bowl chances, MVP chances?
NFL power rankings.
Then I don't think FanDuel knows what they're talking about.
Right?
Because I feel like, because it's FanDuel, they gamble. I don't know what, there has to be some sort of gambling motivation behind it, because FanDuel doesn't just power rank teams, they power rank Super Bowl odds
right.
And I feel like there's something missing. I feel like somebody forgot to tell us that that's the chances to have like 12 plus wins or something. That doesn't sound right. I feel like there's just something wrong with it, and that I feel like they're missing something from it. I don't know.
I do too, Sam. I do too. Steve, what do you think about that list?
Well, they're probably going on the over under win total for each team. I think the Browns are still at 8.5, which is ridiculous. And they're all basing it on a quarterback who's got an injury that no other quarterback has ever had before, similar to a guy in Cincinnati who has a wrist injury that no quarterback has ever had before, yet they're listing them at about 12 wins. So that's all it is. Once teams start playing preseason games, that's gonna change around. And as I said in my blog, this has got to be the dumbest quiet period in the NFL that I have ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I mean, some of the crap that these people are putting out just to get clicks, it just blows my mind.
Right.
Can we start getting to talk about real football? I mean, the rookies come in Monday, the veterans come in Tuesday, and then they head to West Virginia next Wednesday. Finally.
Yes.
Real football. We can talk real football.
Absolutely. I think we're all, we're at this point where we're just ready. We're just so ready.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
But all right, one last list here. Let me see. I got this other list. Let me find it. All right, most expensive offenses. The Browns lead the league going into this year at $191 million offensive number. So like probably Deshaun Watson is a big part of that. Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb. Well, he's kind of do that. So number 2 are the Rams. Number 3 are the Chiefs. Number 4 are the Cowboys. So we're spending $190 million. The Cowboys are $158.7 million. Does that continue to go up, you think, next year?
I don't know. They haven't restructured Watson's contract yet. I still maintain they don't need to. They can wait till next year, let everything settle down. The amazing thing about the Rams, I think I saw that list. They're number 2 in offense and near the bottom in defense.
Yeah.
While Pittsburgh is like top 5 most expensive defense. So,
hey, I want to give a plug.
Priorities.
I know I don't usually give a plug to Pittsburgh, especially, but our affiliate, the Pittsburgh guys there, Jeff Hartman, Kevin Smith. I don't know if you guys both got to see this, but I'm encouraging all Browns fans. We've posted it on our Twitter X page. But Kevin Smith, who is a colleague and works for Fans First, he is the head coach of Ocean City High School, New Jersey, on the coast there in New Jersey. Kevin, maybe you've gotten to see some of his programming, but anyhow, he interviewed Kevin Stefanski this last week. Kevin Stefanski, Kevin Smith has been saying, has been coming to his practices. Can you imagine that if you're a high school football player and you play football at Orange City, New Jersey, and Kevin Stefanski is coming and attending your high school practices, probably helping you out a little bit? I just think it's tremendous. So Kevin Smith got an interview with Kevin Stefanski. It's 20 minutes long. It's so good. I think it's, if you don't,
It
you
is
know, I
good.
know all,
I listened
yeah,
to it. It's good.
good. Yeah, and what I thought was really nice at the end of the interview, Kevin Stefanski talked about pulling all these different offenses and different things that he has done over the years from different people and coaches that he's worked under. And I just think that that's really interesting because when you get down to it, the nuts and bolts of coaching, you know, you're pulling things from different things. And Kevin Smith, who interviewed him, talked to me off air or in texting how he's a very humble guy, very easy to talk to. And that just made me really that's super cool. Kevin was going to try to reach out and see if he would want to come on with us on the Fanatical Elfz and talk to us. So that's still a possibility. I'd love for that to happen, and we're trying to encourage that. But I also thought it was interesting how Kevin Stefanski, the last thing he talked about was his favorite play was kind of like a all spread out offense, nobody in the backfield. You've got verticals, you've got little, and he gave a shout out to Jarvis Landry in that interview, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know. I just think, you know, I think Jarvis was a really big part of this team. And for the fact that Kevin Stefanski pointed him out in this, you know, interview off the cuff, I thought that spoke highly of Jarvis Landry and what probably Kevin Stefanski thought of him when he played for the Browns. What do you guys think?
I like the interview. I people to two-time coach of the year.
Yes. Well, this guy, Kevin Smith, by the way, who works for us at Fans First, great, very successful coach. Go look up his background. He's really done some great things there at Ocean City. I think he's in year 11 or 12. So they're doing that. But all right, final thoughts. Oh, wait, hey, we got to give away something. We got to give away a T-shirt. I know some of you have been just waiting with bated breath to see who's going to win her. Okay, the winner of our T-shirt and who is also a subscriber on YouTube is, drum roll, his name is Tim Cordner. Tim Cordner. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's Tim. Last name is Cordonnier. Congratulations, Tim. He's a husband, Ohio University alum. He's a Browns, Cavs, Tribe, Buckeye fan, University of Dayton. Looks like the Blue Jackets fan. His quote is, "Today's perfect, tomorrow's potential." Thank you very much, Tim, for following us here and joining us and subscribing to us on YouTube. And we will be in touch to see what size shirt we can send you. It's an awesome pullover sort of shirt with a hoodie. We're going to be continuing to give more giveaways. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow us everywhere because we love giving away free stuff. All right, final take. Sam, you're up. Final take on the day. What do you got? What are you looking forward to this week?
I'm just looking forward to seeing people play. I'm lost all knowledge of football again. I have to relearn. I haven't seen a player play football in like 4 months. I've been trying to subsidize my lack of football by desperately playing the new NCAA game.
Oh, how is that, by the way? Do you like it?
Really, really good. I am a very big hater on EA, but this is a really good piece of media or whatever it's called. Video game.
You play it on your Xbox? What do you play it on?
My Xbox, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, we're looking forward to getting back to some football. Steve, final take?
I'm just looking forward to the videos of everybody walking into the facility in Berea, Ohio. I wait for it every year. I'm watching it on either my phone or my laptop. I love it. The Cleveland Browns video team, which is very good.
Yes.
They've done some nice pieces in the offseason, like trying to get the players to pronounce different cities in Ohio, which was hysterical. And they also showed like elementary school pictures of different players, and they said, "Well, who is this?" And it was, their video team is.
Is that on their website?
That's on the official website. Yeah, okay. It's great. But yeah, I look forward to that every year, and that gets me in the mood. I'm tired of watching games from last year.
Yes.
I've watched just about enough of it.
I was doing that too. I was watching a little bit of the Pittsburgh home game last year, and
I watched the Pittsburgh road game, and I realized they went into that game with no damn game plan whatsoever. So when Nick Chubb got hurt, it just got worse.
Yes.
They really didn't have a game plan.
I mean, the fact that
Jeremy confusing.
Ford got that run though in that game too. Which
is
kind of a miracle. He reversed course and went a bazillion yards the other way to kind of keep Cleveland. They actually got the lead, right?
Yeah.
They had the lead late.
Yeah. All they had to do was run the ball the entire second half and punt, and they would have won that game. But anyway, I'm just looking forward to the players, the rookies coming in, and then the veterans coming in, and then we'll get, and near the end of the week, we'll start getting recording from the beat writers, watching actual practice.
Yes. Well, I'm still trying to get Cameron Justice on. She agreed to come on. So Cameron, if you're watching, we'd love to get back in touch with you to get you on here. I know you've been really busy. Heard from her a couple weeks ago. She was going to come on, and then I know she's just been busy. So if you're listening out there, Cameron, we love you, and we have followed your path to success over the last several years. I think you're one of the best out there, and would love to have you here on the Fanatical.
One of the beat writers I follow.
Yes. I just think she's really good at what she does. And I think a lot of people give her give her respect, but I just want to give her a shout out. If she's listening, give me a shout out. You know where I get you know where to reach me. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. I know last week there was a little bit of talk. I know, Steve, we didn't really talk with you much about it, but before we leave, Bernie Kosar, unhealthy, Parkinson's, liver issues, all the stuff that's going on. Where are you at with all that? It's very sad, but it's, prayers. But he's 60 years old. He's been a super fan. I mean, if you were like my age, he was a hero to you growing up as a kid. You were a little bit older than I am, but
he's Bernie, 6 years younger than me.
Yeah, Bernie was quite the fan favorite.
Yeah, he changed. I remember I was living in Tampa at the time, and we didn't have cable. And I'd gone home to have lunch, and all the three local affiliates, the ABC, CBS, NBC, broke in for a live news conference from Miami with Bernie Kosar making an announcement. And I just sat there and went, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was a Browns fan at that time. And when he said that he was going to graduate early and his hopes was to play for his hometown team, the Cleveland Browns, my jaw dropped.
So that was on the local. You were down there, and they came on the local news there.
Oh, he had won national championships.
Yes,
for
sure. The Miami Hurricanes, right? Yeah. They beat in Nebraska, and
yeah. And he's like a hero all over Florida. And, Florida State really wasn't that good. And the Gators really weren't that good. And Miami, the U, was
they were so good for so
popular.
Long. Yeah, but Bernie was really
when he came out in the tank top and the shorts and the flip flops.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind. And, I was like, let's go.
Yes. Well, we have a lot of good. I mean, Browns fans are the best. We are the best fans, if not the best in all of sports. So, Sam, you've picked a good team. I know you live down there in Dallas. We appreciate your insight too. Keep us posted if you hear anything about CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott, because that might have some bearing on what happens up here in Cleveland.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Go Browns. This is the Fanatical Elfz. See you next time. And congratulations to Tim. You are the winner of the t-shirts. We'll be in touch.
Go Browns.
Hey, Tim. Go Brownies.